Hello everyone, Jimbo here. I hope that you're well. I thought I'd make a quick video about Monero and why I advocate it as a cryptocurrency. So we've got to think about why cryptocurrencies are here. And the original intention with Bitcoin, which obviously was the first and the most well known, is that it was designed to imitate gold digitally. So it could be mined and it'd reach a point where it become more scarce, and then as demand has increased, the supply decreases and the price goes up. And it had a purpose, and it still does, which is to be a currency. It was first, or the biggest use for it was on the dark web originally, or the free market. The free market, where people wanted to remain anonymous. It started off as being traded on a card game website, because there was nowhere else to trade it. It was very hard to get hold of. Anyway, it was being used on there, so the demand increased. It was being used on the free market for people to remain anonymous when they spent money, and so the demand increased. The supply, only increased very gradually because it was being mined, and the supply wasn't increasing as fast as the demand, which rose rapidly. So the price increased. Developers, everyone saw this. Investors saw this, and they thought, wow, this might be a good investment. It got more attention, more people bought it. And the price skyrocketed to in a way that's never really happened before, in that it's increased so much and it's maintained its value and then shot up, and it's well known now that it's an incredible investment. So it did have a utility, and there's been a lot of money put into cryptocurrency since then, and a lot of them are shit. Almost all of them. For example, Dogecoin, I think, is rated about 7th as a cryptocurrency, and it's just Bitcoin, but with a meme picture. It's the picture of a dog, and it's got billions of investment, into something like that. That was all it is. That's all it is. This dog with hat. I have no idea what that's about, but I'm not interested, My point is that everybody's bought into cryptocurrency as an investment, which is great, but there's a lot of money in it now, and a lot of money is in a load of shit. And there can be tricks like, this is very fast, or this is then there'll be like a design flaw, there'll be these rug pulls, and there's so much shit that can happen, and that's why a lot of people have bad experience with cryptocurrency. Everybody sees it as an investment now, which is great, but it'd be great to use it as a currency. And that's why I like Monero, because it's just like an upgrade of Bitcoin. It's like the internet's being upgraded. We start off with dial-up, and now we've got broadband. With Monero, it's more private than Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been infiltrated to an extent now, and there have been cases of people being done for tax evasion and other things, linking Bitcoin wallets to nefarious websites and such. But that can be avoided with Monero, because the transactions are more private and nobody can associate a wallet with a person, or it's intended to be that way. And it's faster to use, so you send money, it gets there quicker. It's more secure. It's got something called ring signatures, which when a transaction's made, it's signed by many different, it's signed in many different transactions. Only one is true, and there's something called tailgating now, where it incentivizes miners to keep mining it, but it's almost all been mined. Now, Binance delisted it, and that would have been from American drug cartel or CIA influence. I'm sure it's like a sub-branch of the CIA. It's like this crypto financial conduct, that's it, FCA, Financial Conduct Authority, I think asked Binance to delist it, so they did. And you'd expect the price to go down, and it didn't really. It's doing better than ever, and that's because people in Monero tend to be smarter as well. John McAfee was a big advocate of Monero, and for all of you who don't know who John McAfee is, John McAfee was like Bill Gates' arch nemesis. Bill Gates were creating viruses for computers before the internet came out. And John McAfee created antivirus, for these nefarious pieces of software. And he got a tattoo saying he's not going to kill himself, and then apparently he killed himself in jail in Spain. Got arrested, I don't even know what for, just some bullshit. They just didn't like him, he was a threat to the establishment. So, yeah, John McAfee always said, privacy is very important. He was working on designing apps to keep your phone more private, and just to be careful that when you advocate permission for these apps to use your camera and access your contacts, they can do so. They can access all of your messages and things, and we give permission to do so. So anyway, he was an advocate of Monero because it's so private and it has utility. So what I was saying about Bitcoin being used, Monero's used now on the free market, or people use that now, and they've been using it for 8 years to remain anonymous. The CIA offered, I think it was about $50,000 for somebody to crack it years ago. It never happened. And my point is that it is used. All these cryptocurrencies, they're not really used for a purpose. Monero has been for a long time, and I think always will be. There are more private ones like Pirate Chain, but they're not used. There's a website called XMR Bazaar, so xmrbazaar.com, where you can use Monero to make transactions. The downside is that your money is all your responsibility. You have to take responsibility for your own money. There's no bank that's going to help you if you send your money to to somebody. It could increase criminal activity, in that if somebody knows that you've got Monero, they could rob you and get the money in a wallet, and then there's no traceability to it. You just have to get their passwords to get the money back. So that's the downside of it, is that it's very secure. There'll be things that I've missed, which I'll remember as I finish this video. What else? Oh, it's very cheap. It's like 40th in the coin rankings. I bought it years ago, about $140. Now it's $220, I think. It's so undervalued. There's not much more of it being created because it imitates gold, but most of it's being mined now. That tailgating is like incentivizes miners just to keep going, but it's only like little breadcrumbs of it being released from now on because it's all being mined, but then it's still used. So the supply is not going to increase too much. The demand is going to increase, or it should increase. We should be using this. If anybody wants to pay me in Monero, please, do. I'll pay you in Monero for any service. I want to use it as a currency. Currencies have the word current in them. It's what we give our energy. And we're putting our energy into a fiat system based on this Babylonian banking system which promotes usury, extortionate lending of money, that means. But we're doing that, you know, we're giving our energy into that system, we're tied into it. With mortgages, you know, death bindings, death contracts. Mortgage in France means death binding. We're giving the banks our power, and Monero is a way to give the power back, you know, to the people. The CIA offered that money to somebody to crack it because it's a threat to the system. And it's positive for the people. So yeah, we should use it. I'd use it, you know, I'm willing, you know, I'd pay anyone in it. I'd love to. I'd love to be paid in it. It's like people say it's not real money. The money that you think is real isn't either. It's just numbers on a screen. You just give it the value by using it. So anyway, I'll leave it there. You know, there's not many other cryptos like that. You know, a lot of the other cryptos are entrepreneurs creating them with geeks to just get people's money to invest in their projects and make a load of money. And they'd probably invest in something else. And if they were smart, they'd hide their money on a decentralized exchange with Monero or something like that. It keeps your money completely anonymous. Taxman's not getting it. Nobody's getting it. You know, just whoever's got them, the passwords for it. So you can take control of your money and you'd hide it in a wallet or whatever, and then the value goes up. You know, it's gone up 50%. I say that, so people talk. And gold and silver are great investments. At least if you hold the gold or the silver, you've got your money. But they haven't gone up like, you know, that much. Like 50% in a few years, and I think Monero's massively undervalued, like massively. I think when all these other projects go under, if there is another, you know, flop in crypto, which happens a lot, and it doesn't matter, you know, you just keep hold of your coins, they go up eventually if they're good investments. Monero won't go down that much. The supply's limited, but the demand's there because it has a purpose. It's a good cryptocurrency for private means of exchange, which is so important in this day and age. So I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. I hope that you gained something from this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Thanks for watching all the way through. I've gone on for quite a bit there. I hope some of it made sense. Take care. Bye-bye.